jobs available in this field?
Okay, you can start general dentist or family dentist is kind of what I do. That includes basically being able to see everyone of all varieties and determine what specialist or specialty they need to get to, almost like the quarterback. And that leads into several specialists. So general dentist does everything from fillings to hygiene, work with a hygienist, the assistants. You get to do the crowns, dentures, bridges, implants, that kind of stuff. Endodontist is a specialist that only does root canals. So when the nerve has been affected, is an endodontist. Pediatric dentist will work with kids basically usually under 16. By the time a lot of parents will, by the time about 12, will start referring back to the family dentist instead of the pediatric dentist. So pediatric dentists, the challenge with them is working with little kids usually. So you have to be really patient and willing to let a lot of crying. Even when teeth are clean, a lot of times the kids are crying. So that's pediatric dentist. Orthodontist, I know your aunt is an orthodontist. Work with braces, getting the teeth aligned and straight and functioning. Periodontist is a gum and bone specialist, so they will realign gums. They'll do a lot of implants as well. Mostly soft tissue, so anything that you see in your mouth has to do with soft tissue, that's a periodontist. And then there's someone called a prosthodontist. A prosthodontist will work usually in a rehab situation where they've lost a lot of teeth, where they need to get their bite back together. Maybe it's a full dentures with implants and kind of just so the prosthodontist works with really severe damaged mouth and things. The last one is oral surgeon. Oral surgeon is obviously wisdom teeth are their big thing, but they also do a lot, depending on what kind of training they get. They can get hospital credentials because most of them are MDs as well, so they can do a lot of surgeries. My brother-in-law is an oral surgeon. He's done everything from fort surgery, which is basically cutting the jaw down and pulling it forward. So they do a lot of really surgical things if they want to. They don't have to. A lot of them just do wisdom teeth and implants. So oral surgery has a really vast array of things, but the cool thing about them is if they want to, they can go to the hospital, do big surgeries, trauma surgeries, that kind of stuff. So those people that are into that, that's a great fit for that. So those are kind of all the specialists.
Okay. What types of training do companies offer who are in this field?
So usually in dentistry, it's you almost have you get through your schooling, which is just for general dentists like myself. It's 4 years after your grad. So you graduate from undergrad with your bachelor's degree, and then you do 4 more years, so 8 years total to get through it in your general dentistry degree. If you want to do any sort of specialty at that point, it's either from 2 to 5 years, depending on the specialty program. So you could end up, if you were an oral surgeon, you could end up doing 9 years on top of your 4 years originally. Once that's done, you usually take a job with a mentor of some kind, usually a dentist of some kind that's more, that's where you get a lot of your hand-to-hand, shoulder-to-shoulder training. And there's not a lot of companies and stuff that do that. It's just you get a job with somebody, you start working with them, and you work side by side and learn the ropes.
Okay. And has your company that you've been working at changed over time?
I think a lot of times you'll in dentistry or in healthcare in general, you do evolve based on technology more than anything. Things have become easier. When I was in school, I didn't have the technology that I have now here, whereas I can do crowns in one visit. It's a 3D printer basically. I was never trained on that because in school I never had that. So it was a couple of years out of school where that technology came to life. And so those types of things you will evolve. But usually in dentistry, what's really cool about dentistry is the practice or the area that you work is going to have your philosophy. So however you want to set up your practice, you want to attract the patients that you want to work with. If you want to have a niche in something, if you want to be known for doing just veneers, or if you want, there's different ways that you can kind of market yourself, but it's all up to you as a provider. And I won't do that.
Okay. How quickly is this field growing?
That's a great question. There's still more people retiring than graduating from dental school right now, but there are areas like Dallas where we're getting very saturated very quickly, and a lot of that is to do with the growth of the economy here. So what a dentist will look for is growth areas where there's a lot of commerce, and you can see obviously as you drive around, you see all the cranes everywhere. That's happening here. So more dentists have come in the last 10 years. So we are getting more saturated, but there's still, usually it's about one dentist per 2,500 to 3,000 people is a good number. So we're still over that in here. We're still over 3,000 per one dentist. So we're still at a good place, but I think it's going to get busier and busier.
And that's all.
Okay. Each individual practice and or specialty is going to vary. Number one, a general dentist typically could expect, depending on the business of their practice, to probably earn anywhere from about 100,000 to 200,000. It's a big range. So there's some offices that are really slow, some offices that are really busy. But a good starting salary, like coming out of school, would probably be about 100,000. And then you work your way up as you increase your clientele and get better at procedures and faster procedures, that kind of stuff. The specialists are going to probably typically make more than that. Oral surgeons being the most, because again, they're medical doctors as well, and their billing is a little bit differently. But most oral surgeons are probably going to be over in the range of 250 to 300. And everyone else is going to fall in between that. If you're a pediatric dentist or an endodontist who does root canals, you're probably going to fall in that 200 range somewhere. But again, it all is dependent on how hard you work, how good you are with people. Because there's no really, there are set fees in a way, but it's really, it's all up to you on the sweat of your back. You don't go to work every day and just get a paycheck. You only make money if people understand what you're trying to explain to them and they do it. So I could be here all day and make no money. I still have to turn on the lights. So I need to make sure the patients understand that when they have a problem, a broken tooth, or they need some work, that I can help them do that, or I don't make any money. So it is all on you. It's a profession that requires your knowledge in your head will only take you so far. It's got to be also the sweat of your brow every day, and making sure that you're willing to put in the effort to get people to understand what they need.
Okay, and what's the most unique thing about your job?
The most unique thing about my job is probably that every day is different. I don't sit behind the desk. I don't punch numbers. It's every person that comes in is unique, and they all have a different circumstance that I have to figure out how to solve. So that's one of the things that I enjoy.
Okay.